Before LaMelo Ball, RJ Hampton was the guy who first announced he'd be foregoing college to play professionally in the NBL. Hampton is a 6'5" speed demon whose style fits the more open NBA game perfectly. Hampton didn't get the minutes he wanted in the NBL, but NBA teams won't be able to pass up the potential he displayed. Hampton's monster physical gifts will get him floor time at the next level, but will he be able to show off the shot-making ability and consistency to put all the pieces together and become an NBA star? In the open floor, RJ Hampton has absolutely blazing speed. Hampton has long, smooth strides to go along with that speed that puts defenders on their heels and gets them off balance. And that ability to push the ball and quickly change direction while staying in control will be sure to get him some easy buckets. The way he flies up the court is reminiscent of a pair of high-flying former UCLA guards that are currently in the league. Let's look at just how fast he can be. Hampton starts possession behind almost everyone on the court. Once he breaks out, he beats everyone up the floor for the alley-oop finish. And we get a great look at his change of speed burst as he gets to half court and turns on the Jets. Hampton needs to be smart and aggressive with his speed. He hasn't yet found the touch around the hoop to max out his finishing ability. When he doesn't have a clean shot at the rim, he should be using that speed to go into the defense and draw fouls. Hampton can be special in transition as a passer. This possession against the Thunder was so much fun. Beats everyone up the court, weaves in between defenders, and makes a beautiful wraparound dump-off. Here we see Hampton outrun the press and set up his teammates with the alley. And again, once he turns on the Jets, he's so hard to catch. He gets up the floor, collapses the defense, and kicks it to the open shooter. Hampton shows great patience here as he gets into the teeth of the defense, pulls the ball out, and hits the shooter with a little brush screen handoff. And when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he does a great job filling the lane and making a smart play. Hampton does a great job using his athleticism here. Beats everyone up the floor, catches an overthrown outlet, and mid-air makes a beautiful touch pass for a layup. In the pick and roll, Hampton doesn't hit the roll man too often, but he times this pass well, lobbing it over the dig. Hampton does a good job getting downhill here, and he uses his long arms to wrap a drop-off to the roller who draws the foul. But Hampton will need to improve on these roll passes, and part of that will be understanding who can and can't catch passes like this. Where Hampton excels off the high screen is hitting shooters. He does a great job escaping the blitz and reading his shooter on the strong side. This time, RJ goes away from the screen, reads Adams in drop coverage, and makes a great pass to his shooter wide open behind the line. Hampton has a pretty tight handle, and he uses it to escape pressure. He keeps his eyes up and makes the easy kick to the wing shooter. Really impressive read here. The big slips the screen, Hampton escapes the blitz, he sees the weak side help out of position, and whips the pass to the corner three. Lastly, let's watch RJ get downhill and whip a perfectly placed one-handed pass to the weak side corner. While having shown good potential as a passer out of a high screen, RJ has to become a threat to finish himself. He has the ability to use that extra bit of separation and get to his spots. But he's yet to find the consistency needed to be a primary offensive weapon. When Hampton gets to his floater, he simply lacks the touch to finish it. You can see how wildly inconsistent his misses are, this one not even hitting the rim. In this scenario, you'd rather just see RJ try to draw some contact and get to the line. Again, he can get these shots off, he just lacks the feel as an offensive player right now. RJ's ability to get into his mid-range jumper gives him the potential, and I do mean potential, to be a 3-level scorer. He's got a quick release, can stop on a dime, gets high off his feet. He's very Westbrook-like. The issue is that, like Westbrook, he isn't necessarily good enough as a shooter to take as many as he does. Again, his misses are inconsistent. I'm not sure NBA coaches will love when he pulls from this area. But his ability to get to the shot is unquestionable. He shows off some fancy footwork and uses his athleticism to rise over the defender. Just can't put it through the hoop. But just the fact that he can get these looks off clearly, even on misses, seems like a positive if you're okay drafting a project. But this next area is almost imperative that he's good right away if he wants minutes as a rookie. Hampton shows these flashes using his speed downhill and getting to the rim that makes your mouth absolutely water. And he's one of the few prospects that's been able to show off elite first-step speed against actual NBA defenders. While most super speed guys have one gear, Hampton has shown the ability to change speeds by throwing in little hesitations to get the defender off balance. I mean, you can't teach this speed. That looked like Zach LaVine or Russell Westbrook. He doesn't have the same freakish leaping ability as those two guys, but when he can use his speed in a straight line, he can throw it down with some force. But he was super inconsistent at the rim in the NBL. He had a ton of issues finishing with defenders nearby. He hasn't shown that Kyrie-like ability to use the right angles off the glass. The finesse just isn't there right now. Hampton's body's underdeveloped. He'll need to get stronger so he can try to finish through the D instead of around it. Let's get to his off-the-bounce three-point shooting. I'm not sure that Hampton made even one of these in all the film that I watched. Again, he has no problem creating separation, but he just can't put the ball through the hoop. The scouting report will be to go under every single screen. And until Hampton can make the defense pay for it, they'll continue to let him bomb away these low percentage looks. Hampton was better as a catch-and-shoot guy, but he still wasn't good. His form up top is okay, shoots it out instead of up sometimes, but you can work with that. His feet are wildly sloppy and inconsistent. He gets no balance or power, and you could see him not even get the ball to the hoop on this air ball. And he'll need to, at the least, hit from that corner spot, which, to his credit, is the one area that he showed some signs. If he can hit from that spot consistently, then he'll at least be able to find spots on the floor to provide value off the ball. And when Hampton does hit those shots, he becomes more of a threat to beat a defender closing hard on him with that first step and create plays. Hampton doesn't need a screen to get into the teeth of the defense, and he's shown a knack for making solid passes in midair. Just off his speed alone, he'll generate some nice drive and kick action. RJ showed some great feel as a passer when hitting cutters. Nice dribble move here to create space, reads the weak side cutter, and makes a beautifully timed pass leading to the slam. Hampton really sees the floor well. He makes a beautiful corner-to-corner skip here, getting his man an open look. And the way he can collapse a defense is going to lead to some great ball movement. He gets so deep the whole defense is out of whack, leading to an RJ hockey assist. Hampton isn't wildly turnover prone, but he needs to clean some stuff up if he wants to stay on the floor at the next level. Some of these passes that he's trying to slip in amidst a sea of opposite color shirts won't work in the NBA. And he'll need to really study the film so he doesn't just walk right into the other team's traps. This might have worked in the NBL, but against NBA athletes like Ferguson, that ball is going to be picked every time. RJ is a good ball handler, but he lacks some shape. He can get two-line drivey, which leads to some charges. This was a great does he belong possession for Hampton. One-on-one with Chris Paul. He's able to use his speed and length to stay with him and force a miss on one of the all-time great mid-range shooters. Hampton moves great laterally, and Diallo ends up having to kick the ball out on the drive after RJ beats him to the spot. Hampton really competes one-on-one and is able to use his physical tools to make the offense work. You can see how quickly Hampton can change directions. He's able to stay with his man and beat him right to the spot, forcing the turnover. But as Chris Paul shows here, NBA players are going to have some craft in their bag. Paul just destroys Hampton with his eyes and then bodies him away. Hampton is gonna need to put some serious work into getting stronger, as he just bounces off stronger dudes. He just gets bullied with his little shoulder jab on this possession. Smart NBA teams will get Hampton on switches and just go to work on him down low. There's just nothing he can really do down there. He gets moved too easy. The same for getting around screens. Hampton will fight, but he's too slight and gets caught up too easily. As a team defender, Hampton showed some potential. Rotates early here to tag the roll, closes back to his man in the corner, and then contests the jumper. It goes in, but it's good D. Good timing on the post help here. Almost strips him but forces the pass away. Then gets back to his man with a solid contest. But his weak side corner positioning is rough. He should have had 2 feet in the paint and helped at the rim. Again, doesn't have 2 feet in the paint, but he also loses sight of his man, who sneaks behind him for the layup. This time, again, he loses sight of his man for a second, and he gets hit with a screen. He can't recover and gives up the offensive rebound. Hampton has too many physical gifts and reads the game too well to not be a stud on this end. If he can consistently D up, coaches will have to keep him on the floor at the next level.